Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about 10 things about Clan Wars that can help improve yourself or your clan, or things you might not even know about that are features in Clan Wars that could help you. This is not a video about whether Clan Wars is shit or good. I know there's people on both sides of the fence about that. I plan on doing a video on ways Clan Wars can be improved, but that's for a different time. I'm just gonna, if the feature is out in the game, people are playing it, I'm just going to try and help those people, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about, number one, is checking up on your clan. So if we go into, there we go, into this screen here by clicking on the Clan Wars on the left side of your interface, it'll come up with your clan, what you're earning per minute, your current mana, and your position. What I wanted to show you first is, and this is something I found out today, is this option here where it says leaderboard. I'm mousing over it. At the top there, leaderboard, clan rewards shop. You can click on clan, and this will give you information about all the members in your clan, which is very helpful. So what you want to do when you're in this screen is click on mana collected up the top here, and it'll bring you to this, and you can check a whole bunch of things. Last activity, overall power of heroes, overall power of defeated heroes. I think that's a neat one. And attacks remaining. I want to focus on the attacks remaining. This is going to help you monitor your members. You can find out who has attacks left. You can find out who's not attacking. You can find out a bunch of information here that can probably help you better organize. If you have members on, you're trying to organize an assault, you're trying to organize something, you can come in here, check out what members have attacks left, and plan from there. Remember, even though players have attacks, doesn't mean they have heroes. They've probably used their heroes, they're on cooldown. There's a whole bunch of things. This isn't saying that, you know, this person's slacking off. They just essentially could be a thing where they just don't have the manpower to do anything else. So that's number one. Number two is a pretty basic one, but again, someone may have missed it. If you go to map, will take you to your map and brings up the war that's happening at the moment. Now, this one took me a while to figure out. I figured it out on the first day, but if you are a leader or officer in your clan and you are orchestrating what's happening with your attacks and whatnot, you can do that by marking nodes. Now, to mark a node, for example, let's say I want to attack this base down here. I want my members to attack this base down here. I can simply put my finger over a node, hold down, you see the little loading screen, and it marks that node. So you can see a little symbol, an attack symbol has come up. That means that my members know that I want them to attack that node. I can go to the next one, loading screen, attack symbol, loading screen, attack symbol. I can mark as many as I want, letting my members know that those are the nodes I want attacked. If you want to get rid of it, same thing, you just hold your finger down, it gets rid of it. Awesome. Now, say your members capture a node, and you want the node defended, because not all nodes you want defended, depending on the clan, your structure, whatever. It's the same thing. If your clan already owns the node, and there is not a defense team on that node, you simply, let's go down to this one here, you hold it, and boom, it will put a defense symbol up. That means you want your members to place a defense team on there. You can do it either way, defense as in you want a big strong team on there, or just characters on there. Either way, that's how you mark nodes. Same deal as well. By holding your finger down, you will get rid of the mark. There you go, done. Number three, really simple one. Very important though. Now that we have seen what Clan Wars is about, at the moment it's very stressful. I know a lot of clans are stressed out. It's a full-on thing. Like, unless you've got something set up with the people next to you, you're getting constantly attacked, you're having to defend, and I understand that some Discord channels might be quite annoying. I know I'm pinging the shit out of my Discord. I understand it's annoying, but communication is so important. Three, it's a simple one. Communication. Just fucking communicate, guys. If you're not a fan of how Clan Wars is structured, if you're not a fan of how your clan operates in Clan Wars, just wait till it's done. Don't be disrespectful to your clan and leave halfway through, because it does put a lot of stress at the moment, a lot of stress going out. Leave after the war is finished. But at the moment, just communicate. Let your clan know you've got teams that you can use, because there's no way to check right now what characters people have to use. So Obviously, if you use a hero, they go on cooldown for 12 hours. That means you can't use it for another attack, or you can't use it for a defense unless you return. That's going to come up later on. So yeah, let your clan know you've got characters you can use, you've got characters to defend with, what you can do, what you can offer, and same thing with the officers and the clan leader. Communicate with your members, let them know what you're trying to do. Yeah, I can mark the things, but maybe I'm marking it for a specific reason. Anyway, yeah, 3, communicate. Number 4 is using your full roster of heroes. It doesn't matter if you're a level 80 player with maxed out characters, and you've got some level gear 7 characters, whatever. Every node you capture gains your clan mana. By placing heroes on that node, no matter their level, generates more mana. So the weaker the heroes, the less mana it generates. However, any hero on there is generating more mana than it is naturally. So chuck in some heroes, utilize your roster. Chuck them on nodes that you aren't going to use primary defense rosters on. Just like random little shit ones in the middle of your base. Chuck some heroes on there. Start earning your clan some mana. Another simple one. Number 5 is dissecting your roster. Learn your heroes, learn what teams you can make. Like I said before, when you attack with your heroes, they go on cooldown for 12 hours. That's a long time. I know there's scrolls and stuff that can bring heroes back, but there will be a time in Clan Wars where that won't be an option. We got plenty to start Clan Wars off. I'm assuming we're not going to get the 3,000 or whatever they gave out every time Clan Wars. So learn your roster, figure out the best teams you can make so you can have more teams. For example, you might have a Golden Army team where you can chuck Wukong and Suna in it. Use that, which frees up Ilios. And then from Ilios, you can create a Ilios Druid team. Instead of using a Golden Army team and using up your 5 primary Archons, you've split the team up, you've made one still very powerful team, and you've created a second team. That second team then could be used to defend, or it can be used to attack. There'll be nodes out there that have defense squads on it that aren't strong defense squads because people are just using their rosters, and you might need that weaker team because you don't want to use your strong team and put those characters on cooldown. So look at your roster. If you need help, message someone. They can help build teams for you. I'm sure there's plenty out there. I'm sure clan members out there that will help you try and build the best amount of teams and efficient teams from the characters you have. Number 6 is returning heroes. Returning is the wrong word. I apologize. Let's say bringing heroes back, because returning is a different term later on. We're going to talk about later on. So returning heroes. At the start of Clan Wars, you're obviously trying to protect primary areas. As Clan Wars progresses, depending on how well your clan does, those areas aren't going to be so significant. Because as you can see here, for example, if I get my mouse on the screen again, at the start of Clan Wars, this was a primary area. We needed a lot of strong defense teams there. But when we got a hold on that area, my strong defense teams weren't being utilized. So by clicking on a node, as you can see here, I've got a node that I'm using. I've got my defense heroes on. By clicking on that node, I can click this button down here. What this does is it takes your heroes off that node and returns it to your roster. They do go on cooldown, however. If you've got scrolls, you can bring them back, but that just gives them back into your roster and then allows you to place them at another more vital point that you've probably progressed to. So, for example, they're useless there. I can take them off, use scrolls to revive them, and then I can place them down here. Now I'm protecting this area instead of this area. It's protecting this mana rain node, MR node. Let's just call it MR. Protecting the MR node, and I've increased my base owning. Shut up, Siri. So yeah, returning heroes. That's how you do it. Click on a node you have your heroes on, and just press this little button. Brings them back into your roster. The last 4 things I want to talk about are to do more with strategy. So the war itself. So a very simple one to know. Number 7, your choke points. These are very vital points to your base. If I move up here, your base, how many do we have? So your base has primarily 4 choke points. I think it's the same for everyone. You've got choke point number 1, which is here. Choke point number 2, 3, 4. What I mean by choke point is, as you can see here, there is a massive gap of nothingness there and there, which means the only way an enemy can enter your base is through this bridge here. So this is a choke point. Think of 300, the movie 300. We are Spartans. Whatever you want to do, your armies are lined up there. And the enemy is forced to funnel into one little area instead of having the whole place to enter your base from. So these are your choke points. These are very important. Protect them. Normally, people place their highest defense squads there. And it just makes it more difficult for the enemy to enter your base. Later on, when your base starts expanding, then you can remove your hero. Like, for example, up here, we've removed our heroes from there. We've started to put a more defensive line along here. Harder to defend because we're spread out more, but that's how you progress. As you can see here, the enemy's kind of broken through our choke point. I put an attack point there because I want someone to attack there. So yeah, choke points, super important. That's what they're called. Become familiar with that term. It's important. Number 8 has to do with the MR nodes. Okay, so MR nodes are your biggest source of mana gain. So let's go up to this node up here. It's very important. A MR node primarily has 9 nodes around it, obviously, because this is a checkpoint area. There are the 2 nodes at the top are missing, but the nodes on the outer side of the primary MR node, this all generates extra mana. So what I want to show you guys here is that, as you can see, the opposing faction or clan owns the MR node. So if we capture one of the nodes on the outside, and I click on the little symbol, I'm using my mouse just so you know, up here, you can see the what happened? All right, there we go. You can see the second option. Why is that disappearing? Anyway, do I have to keep my finger? Second option is ticked. That means that mana growth rate from islands in the MR area, I'm going to read it off my screen, MR area is decreased if an enemy clan controls islands, creating the mana rain. So you aren't getting the most mana possible from the mana rain nodes simply because an enemy clan is occupying the nodes as well. I'm pretty sure that I can check their node. So yeah, they are getting mana because they own the primary mana node on the outside as well. Yeah, so if you own the primary MR node, you get that bonus mana income from any nodes around it. Because we do not own the mana node, we are not getting. We're getting a decrease in the mana coming to our main base. Number 9 comes in the form of striking your enemy. Now, a lot of clans I see at the moment are becoming quite comfortable, which means they're not attacking their enemies because they have some type of a truce, agreement, whatever the words you want to use, so be it. However, if you are in a situation where that is not the case with the clans on the opposite side of you, and you have a very strong defense and the enemy is finding it hard to break through, then there's no harm in finding weak nodes. These are not weak nodes, but just pretend they are. Let's go to the bottom here. Is that a weak node? Yeah, okay, so my enemy has a weak character line up there. I haven't put any defense heroes on there. It's not protected. I could go in with any character above gear level 3, I believe. Just one, and clear out all those characters by myself. Now, what is the purpose of doing this? The purpose of doing this is that once I capture that node, even though I have no intention of keeping it, I have no intention of putting any defense heroes on it, I'm using an attack that's just being wasted. It's just storing up. I might as well use it. It's now forcing the enemy to have to waste an attack to get the node back. Sure, they might not use a strong defensive team, offensive team, because I'm not going to put any defense heroes on it either. All it is doing, though, is wasting an attack. And that might be the difference between, them pushing one extra node into your base, putting more stress on you. If you can capture as many weak nodes into an enemy base as possible, the clan might waste attacks trying to claim it back. Now, in saying this, be very careful, because this leads on to my 10th point. And this is a super important one. Let's go into our base and let's look at these 3 nodes here, which are owned by the enemy. Now, our enemy decided to infiltrate our base. They got pretty far in. I made the call to my allies. I put the attack node on the nodes I wanted to attack, which were the nodes around here and around here, because we still had a bit of defense up here. Why did we not attack these nodes here? This is point number 10. If I click on this node, I can see, well, not that one, this one. Let's click on that one. Let's click on this one. Let's click on this one over here. And let's click on this one over here. Now, the enemy has some pretty decent characters on these nodes. Now, by cutting them off from their main line of supply, the enemy can no longer use these heroes. The enemy can't return the heroes. They can't go into the into the node like I showed you before and click the little shield at the bottom and return those heroes. Those heroes are useless to the character. They return to the base after a few hours, but until then, the person that owns these heroes cannot use them unless the enemy reconnects their main line to these abandoned lines. Okay, so if an enemy is brave enough to infiltrate your base out of an attempt of, for some reason, and they decide to put mega defense teams on there, you don't necessarily need to beat those teams. You can simply cut behind them, cut the line off, and make all those heroes useless to that clan. So essentially, you're holding their heroes hostage. They either have to fight to get back to the node and retreat the heroes if they want, or they wait until the timer runs out and the heroes are returned. Okay, I know this video was meant to be 10, but looking over my sheet, I forgot to write one down, which I think is kind of important because I have had some people message me about it, so it's worth throwing into the video. If you go to attack a node, you will see, I'm going to attack it, that on the left-hand side, let me bring my mouse up again, on the left-hand side there is this return option. By clicking return, you go to a screen that shows you all your heroes that are on cooldown. As you can see them here, it brings me to a screen with all these heroes, and that in that screen is where I'm able to use my scrolls to bring them back to my roster so I can use them again. Every time you bring a hero back, though, it increases the cost to return them. The cooldown also has a factor. The lower the cooldown from them returning also reduces the cost of the scrolls. If you get to a point where you run out of scrolls, you can bring heroes back for gold. The gold works the same way as the scrolls. Every time you bring a hero back for gold, the cost to return them with gold increases as well. So that's the 11th little thing to note. If I've missed anything, feel free to leave a comment, because I'm sure there are, little tips and hints and nicks and knacks that I have missed. But those are primary ones I believe everyone should know that can help them in Clan Wars. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, good luck in Clan Wars.